The character for enter has a straightforward evolution. Beginning as an arrow shape, it represented something sharp enough to penetrate or enter. The tip grew out and got merged into the right stroke, forming the modern character. The character can mean enter, come into, join. It is pronounced ru in modern Chinese, new in Japanese, and ip in Korean. Interestingly, these different pronunciations all descend from the Middle Chinese liep. The trick is to realize that the initial consonant r can develop into n, r, or simply disappear. We get the modern Chinese ru. When liep's initial consonant becomes an r, the I and final p disappear, and the vowel e becomes a u. For the Japanese new, liep's initial consonant becomes n. The vowels go from ie to yu, and the final p disappears. For the Korean ip, everything disappears except for the vowel I and the final P. Coincidentally, this sound change also takes place for the character for person. The two characters also look similar, so be sure not to confuse them. Lastly, the Japanese also have additional readings of I and Hai, and the Koreans have tul. Note that this is different from tul, which means two. We have seen the character for knife before in earlier videos. This character ultimately comes from a drawing of an upright knife with the blade on top and the handle below. However, while the primary meaning of the character is knife, there are also two less common meanings. Firstly, it refers to bronze knife-shaped coins used in China between 600 to 200 BCE. They are called Dao Bi or Dao Qian, both of which translate to knife money. Many of these coins were also found in the Korean peninsula, which indicates active trade between the regions. Many coins bear the character meaning bright and clear, and are named after it. In Korean, it is Myeongdojeon, and in Chinese, Mingdao Qian. Secondly, the character can also count sheets of paper. This dates back to ancient paper making, where uneven edges were trimmed off. One knife grew to mean the amount of paper that could be trimmed in one cut. Now it usually means 100 sheets. For pronunciation, the character was Dao in Middle Chinese. This becomes Dao in Chinese, To in Japanese, and To in Korean. Unsurprisingly, the Japanese have their own reading of katana. The Koreans also have the reading of kal. Simple directions are perhaps the easiest concepts to express in a symbol. The character for top began as two lines. The longer curved line at the bottom represents the horizon or reference line, while the shorter line above represented the idea of being on top. Due to the difficulty of inscribing curves, the bottom line straightened out to form a character with two straight lines. Those of you familiar with Chinese, Japanese, and Korean characters will start to see a problem. The character for top as it looks now is far too similar to the character for two. To avoid confusion, a vertical line was then added to differentiate between them, and from there we have our modern character. In modern Chinese, Japanese, and Korean, the character can mean top, superior, highest, or go up, send up. The Middle Chinese pronunciation was jiang. This becomes shang in Chinese, zhou and shou in Japanese, and sang in Korean. Because the concept of top is so essential, there are many alternative native readings. In Japanese, there are ue, ua, a, kami, and nobo. The Koreans have wit and wi.